Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Tab back into the video today, and today we're going to be talking about the Houston Texans potentially signing Derrick Henry. King Henry. Actually, I'm going to call him King Henry in this video. I don't think this signing will happen, and honestly, the only reason I would want this signing to happen is the Texans going after Derrick Henry is I would love for the Texans to get him if Saquon Barkley does not work out. If Saquon Barkley goes somewhere else, Cowboys have been mentioned, the Eagles have been mentioned, other teams like the Chargers and etc. have been mentioned. If Saquon Barkley does not work out, you're not able to get a deal done with him, then I would really like the Texans to bring in Derrick Henry. Now, we really did start to see Derrick Henry kind of slow down this past season with the Tennessee Titans. What's crazy is he had almost 1,200 rushing yards and 12 touchdowns, and that's a down year for him. Really, it is. I mean, look in the past. It's only 16 games in 2022, he had 1,500. In only 8 games in 2021, he had almost 1,940. In 2020, he had 2,000. In 2019, he had 1,500. So, I like to call Derrick Henry. I've called him King Henry. I've called him Derrick Henry, but I like to call him the Texans killer because man, has he killed the Texans in the past. And really, this past season was the one season in the first time since 2019, 2018, where he did not dominate the Texans. Actually, the Texans dominated him. We dominated him when the Texans played the Titans in Tennessee, and we didn't really dominate him in the game where we played them in Houston, but he wasn't great. But yeah, that was one of his worst games of the season when the Texans played the Titans in Tennessee. So he had 280 carries, which was the lowest in a season for him, a healthy season for him since the 2018 season. Now, he had 219 in 2021, but that season he only played 8 games because of an injury. And then 2018, he played 16 games and had 215. So there was a low carry count for him this year. He had 1,167 rushing yards, 12 rushing touchdowns. He was effective on the receiving end with 214 receiving yards on 28 receptions as well. And also, we know how dominant he was in the playoffs for the Tennessee Titans in 3 games in the playoffs in 2019 with 83 rush attempts for 446 rushing yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. He also had 5 receptions for 21 receiving yards that postseason. But in that 2020 season and the 2019 season, was he dominant. In 2019, he had 1,540 rushing yards and 16 rushing touchdowns in 15 games, and then 16 games in 2020, he had 2,027 rushing yards and 17 touchdowns. He was so good that he was talked about in the MVP conversation. So yeah, and he was an All-Pro he was an All-Pro in 2020, of course. That was the only season he's been an All-Pro. He was a Pro Bowl in 2019, Pro Bowl in 2020, Pro Bowl in 2022, and 2023 as well. So yeah. Let me know your thoughts on the potential signing for the Texans. Like I said, I think the Texans should only go after him if Saquon Barkley does not work out. So, I'd rather have Derrick Henry than Devin Singletary, but that's just my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and peace out. Go Texans.